Under California's 2/3 rule, nobody can run the legislature unless the two sides can agree. And of course, they disagree profoundly, and the voters have picked between them, but they cannot enact. So that would be a big piece of what California needed to do. We would not be in this problem if over the last 10 years the legislature majority that the people had elected was allowed to write the budget.
Let's go back to John on the question of solutions, and also if you might address, should we change 2/3? And also Peter's raising the question of this priority of payments. We're the only state with, that pays education first rather than the folks that we've borrowed money from. Should we change that? Your thoughts?
Well, first, I think the element that hasn't been talked about is actually we need some political leadership in the state of California. If we can get some responsible people, right? We need a couple of Republicans in the state Senate. We need, and I'm not blaming just Republicans, right? Everybody's responsible here. We need 3 in the Assembly. We have the Big Five negotiating, right? Poor Dave Cogdell, I'm not sure he's a Senate President pro tem. No, Senate
Republican leader, yeah.
I don't know if he has a second vote, right? Because I don't know if there's a second Republican who wants to expose themselves in the next electoral cycle. For all those who have voted down a plan, right? I think we ought to create something where, and I don't want to create another law to make people offer a plan, but I think for every legislator who said no thus far to everything that's been before them, you have to offer a proposal, right? Because people are suffering, people are struggling, and we have no idea what it would take from you, right, any of those legislators to pass a budget, right? If I was trying to use a Willie Brown idea, Willie said, you need to get basic common agreement at the lowest level so that people are invested in the system, and you just grow that, through different types of agreement. I think, that's a start that we need. We also need, within the realistic political leadership, we need both the Democrats and the Republicans to budget much more prudently, right? It is in their interest to look at things optimistically, right? The Democrats want to protect many essential programs and services. The Republicans want to offer a tax cut. So they both have an incentive for saying, let's look at the positive side of the numbers, right? And we miss those numbers year after year, right? So both sides can get what they want, right? We ought to say, okay, in the event we're going to budget more prudently, in the event that we have up years, right? Let's have some type of negotiation where we're going to give people the benefit of those up years. And then we have to take into calculation, it's been discussed here, Mark alluded to a little bit, we're gonna struggle for a while. The most volatile portion of California's income stream is capital gains. If you looked at what happened when the stock market hit its peak in 2000, right, in the 1990s, about 24,000 households reported an adjusted gross income here in California of $1 million or more. When the stock market hit its peak, it went up to 44,000. Right? Then the next year, after the stock market bubble burst, we were down at 24,000. We had a year plus of recession. We had 3 to 4 years of recovery, and we went back up to 44,000 when real estate was doing very, very well. Right during those good years, the governor put in place a rainy day account, savings account. I don't think it's the best it can be, but at least it's an idea. We need to balance off those good years versus bad years.
But on the specific question of 2/3, would you go to a majority? 55% is may go on the ballot?
Yeah, I would, but I'm also a political realist. The polling numbers against 2/3 are about 2/3. So I'd like to see some drop, but that's not going to happen in the foreseeable future. So that's going to be a very difficult hurdle. And part of it is we have to be realistic. The voters of California wanted term limits. You have to understand, I don't understand how people attack government differently than business or nonprofits or any other human institution. Government is a human institution. You have, just like any other entity or organization, you have 15 to 20% who are terrific, you have 20% who are good, you have 20% who are average, 20% below average, and 15 or 20% who term limits are for. But the fact of the matter is, right, you have to give those people an opportunity to grow, to be good. Right? These are people making decisions about climate change. These are people making decisions about pay-for-value medicine. These are people talking about experience-based medicine. These are people talking about how you handle investments in sovereign wealth funds. would you give somebody your portfolio, in essence what you do, who has only 2, 3, 4 years experience, right? I wouldn't put my investment portfolio in that type of experience, right? And so that's why you need to let people grow in the legislative process.